Have you been reading squinting, pushing content away to see clearly? Do you struggle to read even legible text? This episode is for you. Good evening. Welcome to Sound Health on Lagos Television. I am Olasumbo Modupe. This week we are looking at presbyopia and eye condition. Stay tuned. The conversation begins after this break.
Kamal will die at 49. Lucy will die at 52. Ashley will die at 57. Fatima will die at 59. Ethan will die at 63. A privileged few will be healthy enough to live sometimes decades longer than others, particularly those with access not just to healthcare, but resources like housing, education and jobs. This is what health inequity means. To change this, we need to be all for equity.
The program is still Sound Health on Lagos Television. Joining us via Zoom this evening is Dr. Gloria Okoekhian, Ogulu, and she is the Chairperson, Nigerian Optometric Association, Lagos State Chapter. She is going to tell us what exactly is presbyopia. Good evening, Dr. Gloria Okoekhian, Ogulu, and thanks for joining us.
Good evening, Sumbo. Thanks for having me once again.
Yes, it's our pleasure to have you always grace the show. Oftentimes we see people push away their phones and items just to read a text. What exactly is this condition and why is this so?
Thank you. So that condition you just described in simple terms is referred to as presbyopia. Now, presbyopia is an age-related condition that people experience that results in difficulty in reading or writing, accessing the phone, anything that involves close near work, like threading a needle or doing some tiny details at close range becomes relatively difficult because the lens, the natural lens in our eyes loses its flexibility with age. So, and as such, it becomes more rigid, thereby making it difficult to focus clearly on the retina. So, because of that, people invariably experience blurry vision. Their vision at close range is not very clear as it used to be prior to that age. So, what you now see, you will see people who tend to need more light. They need more lighting to be able to appreciate this tiny print, or they tend to move their books further away. Some do I call it the escapist route, where they increase the font size, either on their phones or the system. And people just find a way around it one way or the other. But by and large, basically, it is a change that comes as age increases. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in the course of this discussion as per what age precisely are we looking at, but it does come because the lens loses its flexibility and focusing of images at close range becomes difficult.
In a layman's term, we hear people say short-sighted and long-sighted. Are they the same?
Not really, no. Presbyopia on its own, it has its own, like I did mention earlier, it has its own causes and manifestation. Short-sightedness has to do with people, they can see things at close range, but their vision at far is blurry. Now, long-sightedness can mimic presbyopia in a way, because you see long-sighted people, they can see well at far and tend to have discomfort at near. However, the difference is in the manifestation and the reason behind it. Remember I said earlier, for presbyopia, it's an age-related condition that causes the lens, the natural lens in our eye, to lose its flexibility. So that is the reason why you'll see it specifically on people who have reached certain age, whereas long-sightedness can be found in children, school children, can be found among teenagers, and even adults, as the case may be.
All right, it's good to know that it is caused by blurry lens. That is also age-related factor is also a symptom. Let us know, does this symptom mimic other conditions, and is it more common in a particular gender?
Okay, now the truth is, presbyopia can manifest in a way, like I said earlier, like hyperopia, that's long-sightedness. But the difference is that where you have to start moving things farther away, you move your book far away, you need lighting, these are clear-cut telltale signs of presbyopia. And it happens in persons at age 40 and above. When we approach age 40 and above, that is when presbyopia actually sets in. And it continues to increase because as long as age is increasing, these changes still come to play. So it increases until we get to a particular age, like age 65, where it kind of becomes stable. Unlike long-sightedness, which, yes, does create some discomfort for persons at close range, but not like presbyopia that is clear-cut related to age. So what now happens is, invariably, both long-sightedness and presbyopia, they are, we'll call it refractive condition. By refractive, I mean it has to do with light focusing and image formation for us to be able to see. But the clear-cut difference is that presbyopia is not manifest in young people. Presbyopia doesn't, because at young age, tender age, the lens still has its full ability to remain flexible, so it can focus image clearly. Unlike when we now get to age 40 and above, where this problem sets in.
Is presbyopia aggravated by exposure to digital devices and some other lifestyle?
Well, not necessarily. Changes that comes with age, really, they're not dependent on the external. Even though we cannot take away the fact that the things we do, like prolonged use of digital devices, can put a strain on the eyes. We can't take that away. However, the change that comes within the lens is not dependent on, how much we read, the amount of light we use, where we sit to do our near work. I'll give you a typical example, for instance, like the hair turning gray. It's a natural change that comes. But then, another factor that also affects that has to do with genes, which is what we can bring to play in case of presbyopia. Because basically the things that we can use as risk factors are age-related. Genetics can play a role as well. Likewise, some other diseases which can hinder the ability of the eye to focus clearly. But basically, it is not caused by what we do or how we use our eyes. The lens losing its flexibility has to do with more layers of cells being added to the outer layer, of the lens structure. This lens structure is within. It's a natural lens. Naturally, we're all born with a lens, just like we have the lens that we fix into glasses to see. So that natural lens has been formed in such a way that it is supposed to be flexible. It's supposed to, the outer layer covering, the outer layer is soft and supposed to be flexible. But as age increases and more layers of cells are added, it becomes rigid. So it is that rigidity that causes it to lose its flexibility, which is not dependent on what we do externally.
Thanks for that detailed explanation. I asked that question because most people still feel presbyopia and some other conditions are attributed to lifestyle and not necessarily age. We do not like to, accept nature. We blame other. Yes. Okay. So, from your experience, is this condition manageable or treatable? Because it is, age related.
Yes, you just took the words from me. The first thing I would say, because like you did mention, a lot of people have that, will I say, expectations or misconception that yes, presbyopia is a function of how well you do take care of your eyes, what you do and what you don't do. And that is why I will keep stressing the age factor. So long as the day increases, our age, will keep getting higher. So we don't have control over that. After all, everybody wants to live long. So if we want to live long, which is a good aspiration, the eye, like every other part of the body, will experience changes that comes with age. But the good thing about presbyopia, even though we cannot prevent it, it can be managed, it can be taken care of. I don't want to use the word treated, because when you say treated, the expectations from the public is when I treat presbyopia today, tomorrow I shouldn't need another pair of glasses. So I will say it as it is, because it is a change that comes with age. If I go to see my optometrist today and presbyopia is detected or diagnosed, and the person will be given a pair of glasses to take care, to compensate for the loss of accommodation at that time. However, it still does not stop the changes that will come to come. That is why it now happens that after 18 to 24 months, there is need for an upgrade. Because irrespective of the fact that I am wearing a pair of glasses, it still does not stop the changes that are taking place within the lens. So I'm trying to stress this to help people manage their expectations. It is not a disease. Presbyopia is not a disease. It's a structural change. So we really don't have control over that change. We're able to provide something to compensate, to address the issues, to help make up for the reduction in vision. But the glasses cannot treat it completely, such that we wear it today and in the next 2 years, we say presbyopia is gone. Well, to manage presbyopia is quite simple. It's simply with glasses, but there are different kinds of glasses to manage presbyopia. You can have the reading glasses. By reading glasses, as the name implies, is simply for reading. What it means is, if you're not reading, you have to take them off, which is not very comfortable or convenient. Then you can have either the bifocal glasses, bifocals, or what we call progressive lenses. Bifocals now involve two segments. You have for the distance viewing and for reading, such that if you're wearing your glasses and you need to take a walk around, either in the church or in your offices or your neighborhood, you're comfortable doing that, which you cannot do with reading glasses only. Then the one that is most, we recommend more, especially for those who work on the system, is the progressive lenses, otherwise called varifocals. From the word varifocal, it means you have various focal lengths. What that means is that you now have a segment for distance viewing, you have for the intermediate, which you can use comfortably on your system of digital devices, and then you have for near. So this segment, because the technology, that lens has been produced to be in one segment. So it just transits seamlessly without any visible mark compared to the bifocal. Then in some cases, there are multifocal contact lenses now, which you can use for sight and reading. Prior to this time, we used to have contact lenses only to view afar or for cosmetics, but now there are multifocal contact lenses. And for some areas, we also have, we call it monocular contact lenses. That would be a bit more technical, where one eye is compensated for far, one is compensated for near. But I can say for free that the way to manage presbyopia is simple. just find time to visit your optometrist, have your eyes examined. And once you're given, the recommendation is for you to take a pair of glasses, he or she will give you all the possible options. And then the person can make a choice based on preference and lifestyle.
All right. Are there implications if not managed early?
Well, I can't see, there is no, will I say, fatal implications, more or less. I can't say there is a danger. However, the truth is, with presbyopia, if not well managed, more or less the person will have to be battling with the discomforts, because there comes a point in time where you can no longer stretch your hand. Basically, when presbyopia starts, what people do experience is, you wake up in the morning and you see that you can't see the tiny prints, but when you shift it further, you are able to appreciate it. Mm-hmm. So you see, people tend to keep going with that route, that way to compensate for the shortfall. But there is a level, there is an extent to which you can keep shifting your book further, your phone further, and likewise increasing the lighting. So the truth is, whether we try to run away from it, the reality is when presbyopia sets in, it will continue, and definitely the person will get to a point in time where he or she will have to address it. Sometimes we hear these reservations where people tell me, but I know this person that is older than me and he's not using glasses. My father is not using, my father didn't use, or my mom, my aunt. I usually try to educate or enlighten my clients that presbyopia sets in for every person. However, the manifestation may be different depending on what we do and previous refractive conditions. For example, persons who are short-sighted at a younger age, even when presbyopia sets in, because they can do near work closer than normal, you find out that they are still able to read with their own eyes. The artisans or those who work with machines and bigger things that do not need to appreciate tiny things at close range, they will still get by. Compared to those of us who work in the offices, we use the computer, we write on the paper. So invariably, the recommendation is when we get to age 40, we should begin to prepare ourselves for it, because it's inevitable, so long as we are looking forward to increasing our age.
All right, thanks for correcting that impression. I also feel you should address this myth. Many people feel whether you are using reading glasses, a single vision lens and all that, you're physically or visually impaired. Does this literally mean that? And what advice you have for such people?
Not at all. That's a very far cry from the truth. The fact that a person needs a pair of glasses does not mean the person is visually impaired. It is just about having a refractive condition. By refractive, I mean the person could be short-sighted, long-sighted. A simple example I can give is about height. Some of us are tall, some of us are short, some of us are slim, some of us are fat. We are on the big side. And the eye is not any different. So these are just structural differences within the eye, the structure of the eye, that now need to be taken care of. Thankfully, God has given us the knowledge, which now resulted to using a pair of glasses. So using glasses, whether for short-sightedness, for presbyopia, or whatever it's recommended for, does not mean one is visually impaired. As a matter of fact, I will put it that the impairment of vision is more common for those who shy away from using glasses. Because what they're invariably doing is that they are coping with the stress. They know they are not comfortable. You can take a look around. You see people, when they want to read, they frown, they make all the effort, they're straining, they're shifting. That is an impairment, if you ask me, compared to those who need to wear their glasses. Where one is visually impaired comes when there is a disease condition, for instance, and you refuse to take action, action to take care of it. If you don't take the necessary action to address it, then the impairment stays. But But you need a pair of glasses, or one needs eye drop, or needs surgery, and you do the needful. As far as I'm concerned, your vision is well compensated for, and the person can now have adequate and comfortable vision for optimal productivity.
That's more of preventive care, and I think I also fall into that category. All right, so before we go, I think you also need to share healthy habits and tips for the care of our eyes.
Well, thank you very much. I think this is something for all of us. Our eyes, like we all know, are the windows of the body. So my strong advice is we should do well to pay attention to our eyes because they are our precious jewels. We need the eyes just like we need the body to stay healthy. So simple tips: eat well, avoid junk food, eat a lot of fruits, vegetables, oranges, mangoes, banana, pawpaw, as much as we can find vegetables. These are good for our eyes. Vitamins are essential for eyes. Then we should maintain a healthy lifestyle through exercises. The reason for that is because with exercises we become less obese, and so we are not predisposed to developing certain diseases early that may also cause complications. Then one thing I want to stress here is we should, as much as possible, avoid this, they call it Bobo Miche, herbal tea. We see them every now and then on TikTok, Instagram, and surprisingly, people believe it. There is no such herbal tea that can take care of your eye problems, every eye problem, and then you do away with glasses. That is very far from truth. So I advise people strongly, make it a gift to yourself to check your eyes at least once a year. That's I usually recommend it. Take it as your birthday gift, just as you're preparing for your cake and every other thing. Put your eye examination as part of the gifts you're going to give to yourself. So if we are able to have routine checkups, receive the optometrist, see the doctor on time, take the necessary recommendation, whether eye drops, whether glasses or surgery as the case may be, do the needful, avoid putting harmful substances into our eyes, eat right, and stay healthy. I think these are things basically we need to keep our eyes going for us.
All right, eat well, embrace healthy lifestyle, treat your eyes as your jewelry. Dr. Gloria Okoekhian Ogulu, Chairperson, Nigerian Optometric Association, Lagos State Chapter. Thank you so much for your time and expertise on how to manage presbyopia.
Thank you once again for having me.
All right, Sound Health continues with trending health report from around the world. Please stay tuned. The program is still Sound Health on Lagos Television. Trust you've learned one or two things on how to treat your eyes right. You need to see an optometrist at least twice a year and treat your eyes as your jewelry. You also need to know that your eyes are your windows to your body. lifestyle. This is where we say thank you on today's episode of Sound Health. If you have topics you'd like us to treat, or you have comments about any of our past episodes, please send SMS to 0035826603 or follow us on social media at Lagos Television #Sound Health. A sound health is a sound mind. Make healthy living your choice.